General Studies. Part 1. Science Audiobook. Subject 1. Physics. Lesson 1. Universe. Introduction. If you look at the sky, you can see the sun during daytime, moon and numerous stars during night time. In the earlier days, before the invention of astronomical instruments, people were able to see the sun, moon and stars only. Based on their observation, they thought that Earth is the center of all the objects in the space. This was known as the geocentric model, held by Greek astronomer Ptolemy, 2nd century, Indian astronomer Aryabhatta, 5th century, and many astronomers around the world. Later Polish astronomer Nicholas Copernicus observed the space more keenly and proposed the heliocentric model, Helios is equal to Sun, with Sun at the center of the solar system. The invention of the telescope in the Netherlands in 1608 created a revolution in astronomy. The improvement of telescopes led astronomers to realize that our sun is one of hundreds of billions of stars in a galaxy, what we call the Milky Way. We have millions of galaxies in space. The collection of all the things that exist in space is known as the universe. In this lesson we will study how the universe came into existence and all the things in it, how satellites are put into orbit and also about International Space Station. The universe is unimaginably and infinitely big. Universe is commonly defined as the totality of everything that exists or is known to exist. Even though the spatial size of the entire universe is still unknown, it is possible to measure the observable universe. The universe consists of galaxies, planets, stars, meteorites, satellites and all other forms of matter and energy. And it is a world of wonder. Let us move into this world of wonder to know more interesting facts about the place of residence of our solar system. Origin of the universe. You are a student who belong to a particular class studying in 7 STD. In your school, there might be many sections for 7 STD. Likewise, there are 6 STD class, 8 STD class and so on. All of them together make the school. Likewise, our sun is a star with a planetary system. Billions of such stars constitute a system called as galaxy. The name of our galaxy is Milky Way. Like Milky Way, there are at least hundreds of billions of galaxies in the universe. How did all these come about? Were they in existence always or was there a beginning? When we observed other galaxies, we found a strange behavior. All the galaxies were appearing to move away from us. Farther they are, faster they appear to move. Cosmologists, scientists who study the structure and evolution of universe that is cosmos, reason that this imply at one point of time in the past all matter was confined in a single point and since then it has started to expand. The event when the matter confined in a single point and began to expand is called Big Bang. This is considered as the origin of our universe as we know it. The Big Bang theory is the prevailing model of the evolution of the universe. Under this theory, space and time emerged together about 14 billions of years ago. At that time, the entire universe was inside a bubble that was thousands of times smaller than a pinhead. It was hotter and denser than anything we can imagine. Then it suddenly expanded. The present universe emerged. Time, space and matter all began with the Big Bang. In a fraction of a second, the universe grew from smaller than a single atom to bigger than a galaxy. And it kept on growing at a fantastic rate. It is still expanding today. Over the next 3 minutes, the temperature dropped below 1 billion degrees Celsius. After 300,000 years, the universe had cooled to about 3000 degrees. Atomic nuclei could finally capture electrons to form atoms. At that stage of the evolution of the universe, it was filled with clouds of hydrogen and helium gas. Giant clouds of hydrogen and helium were gradually drawn to the places where dark matter was most dense, forming the first galaxies, stars, and everything else seen today. We cannot see anything that happened during the first 300,000 years of the universe. Scientists try to work it out from their knowledge of atomic particles and from computer models. The only direct evidence of the Big Bang itself is a faint glow in space, called cosmic microwave background. As millions of years passed, the dense areas pulled in material because they had more gravity. Finally, about 100 million years after the Big Bang, the gas became hot and dense enough for the first stars to form. New stars were being born at a rate 10 times higher than in the present-day universe. Large clusters of stars soon became the first galaxies. The Hubble Space Telescope and powerful ground-based telescopes are now beginning to find galaxies that were created about 1 billion years after the Big Bang. These small galaxies were much closer together than galaxies are today. Collisions were common. Like two flames moving towards each other, they merged into bigger galaxies. Our Milky Way galaxy came together in this way. Building block of the universe. The basic constituent of the universe is luminous matter, i.e., galaxies, which are really the collection of billions of stars. The universe contains everything that exists, including the Earth, planets, stars, space, and galaxies. This includes all matter, energy, and even time. No one knows how big the universe is. It could be infinitely large. Scientists, however, measure the size of the universe by what they can see. This is called the observable universe. The observable universe is around 93 billion light-years. 1 light-year is equal to the distance that light travels in 1 year, which is 9.4607 by 1012 kilometers across. One of the interesting things about the universe is that it is currently expanding. It is growing larger and larger all the time. Not only is it growing larger, but the edge of the universe is expanding at a faster and faster rate. However, most of the universe, what we think of is empty space. All the atoms together only make up around 4% of the universe. The majority of the universe consists of something scientists call dark matter and dark energy. Age of the universe. Scientists think that the universe began with the start of a massive explosion called the Big Bang. According to Big Bang theory, all the matter in the universe was concentrated in a single point of hot dense matter. About 13.7 billion years ago, an explosion occurred and ejected all the matter in all directions in the form of galaxies. Nearly all of the matter in the universe that we understand is made of hydrogen and helium, the simplest elements created in the Big Bang. The rest, including the oxygen that we breathe, the carbon, calcium, and iron in our bodies, and the silicon in our computer chips, are formed in the cores of stars. The gravity that holds these stars together generally keeps these elements deep inside their interiors. When these stars explode, these fundamental building blocks of planetary systems are liberated throughout the universe. Arrival of telescope. Telescope was invented by Hans Lippershey, but Galileo used it for studying the sky for the first time. The telescope showed more universe was than visible to naked eye. With his simple telescope matching toy telescopes of today, Galileo was able to see mountains on the moon, small dim stars invisible to naked eye, sunspots on face of Sunday. He was able to demonstrate that the Milky Way, an hazy bright patch in the sky, is nothing but thousands of stars huddled together. Jupiter had moons going around it, and Saturn had mysterious appendage which we now know as rings. One of the most startling observations he made was related to telescopic observation of Venus. This convinced him to accept the theory of the Polish astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus, that it is not sun, planets and stars that go around Earth, but it is Earth and other planets that go around the sun. Heliocentric theory. Galaxies. According to astronomers, galaxies were formed shortly after the Big Bang that happened 10 billion to 13.7 billion years ago. Immediately after the Big Bang, clouds of gases began to compress under gravity to form the building blocks of galaxies. A galaxy is a massive collection of gas, dust, and billions of stars and their solar systems. Scientists believe that there are 100 billion, 10-11, galaxies in the observable universe. The size of the galaxies ranges having a few hundred million, 108, stars to 100 trillion, 10-14, stars. Galaxies are also in different shapes. Depending on their appearance, galaxies are classified as spiral, elliptical, or irregular. Galaxies occur alone or in pairs, but they are more often parts of groups, clusters, and superclusters. Galaxies in such groups often interact and even merge together. Our Sun and all the planets in the solar system are in the Milky Way galaxy. There are many galaxies besides our Milky Way. Andromeda Galaxy is our closest neighboring galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is spiral in shape. It is called Milky Way because it appears as a milky band of light in the sky. It is made up of approximately 100 billion stars and its diameter is 1 lakh light-years. Our solar system is 25,000 light-years away from the center of our galaxy. Just as the Earth goes around the Sun goes around the center of the galaxy, and it takes 250 million years to do that. Types of galaxies. There are various types of galaxies such as spiral, elliptical, barred spiral and irregular. Spiral galaxy. Spiral galaxies consist of a flat, rotating disk containing stars, gas and dust, and a central concentration of stars known as the bulge. These are often surrounded by a much fainter halo of stars. Spiral galaxies are named by their spiral structures that extend from the center into the galactic disk. The spiral arms are sites of ongoing star formation and are brighter than the surrounding disk because of the young, hot stars that inhabit them. Elliptical galaxy. An elliptical galaxy is a type of galaxy having an approximately ellipsoidal shape and a smooth image. Unlike flat spiral galaxies with organization and structure, elliptical galaxies are three-dimensional, without much structure, and their stars are in somewhat random orbits around the center. Interestingly, stars found inside of elliptical galaxies are on an average much older than stars found in spiral galaxies. Elliptical galaxies tend to be surrounded by large numbers of globular clusters. Irregular galaxy. An irregular galaxy is a galaxy that does not have a distinct regular shape, unlike a spiral or an elliptical galaxy, They are often chaotic in appearance, with neither a nuclear bulge nor any trace of spiral arm structure. About 1/4 of the galaxies found so far are of this type. Cosmologists say that some irregular galaxies were once spiral or elliptical galaxies but were deformed by an uneven external gravitational force. Irregular galaxies may contain abundant amounts of gas and dust. Barred spiral. A barred spiral galaxy is a spiral galaxy with a central bar-shaped structure composed of stars. Bars are found in approximately in 2/3 to 1/3 of all spiral galaxies. The Milky Way galaxy, where our own solar system is located, is classified as a barred spiral galaxy. Milky Way. The Milky Way is the galaxy in which our solar system is located. The diameter of Milky Way is over 100,000 light-years. The Milky Way includes stars smaller than our Sun as well as many other stars that are thousands of times bigger than the Sun. It includes many other celestial bodies of gases, clouds of dust, dead stars, newly born stars, etc. It is also thought to contain at least 100 billion stars. The galaxy that is closest to our Milky Way is Andromeda. The descriptive, Milky, is derived from the appearance from Earth of the galaxy, a band of light seen in the night sky formed from stars that cannot be individually distinguished by the naked eye. In Indian mythology, this patch called as Akashganga. From the Earth, the Milky Way appears as a band because its disc-shaped structure is viewed from within. Galileo Galilei first resolved the band of light into individual stars with his telescope in 1610. Until the early 1920s, most astronomers thought that the Milky Way contained all the stars in the universe. Observations by Edwin Hubble showed that the Milky Way is just one of many galaxies. The Milky Way does not sit still, but is constantly rotating. Our solar system is located within the disk of the galaxy, about 27,000 light-years away from the center of the galaxy. The solar system travels at an average speed of 828,000 kilometers per hour. Even at this rapid speed, the solar system would take about 230 million years to travel all the way around the Milky Way. When the solar system was in the same spot as it is now, there were no humans, no Himalayan mountain on Earth, and the dinosaurs were roaming around the Earth. Tucked inside the very center of the galaxy is a monstrous black hole, billions of times as massive as the Sun. Although black holes cannot be directly viewed, scientists can see their gravitational effects as they change and distort the paths of the material around it. Most galaxies, like Milky Way, are thought to have a black hole in their heart. Constellation. A constellation is a recognizable pattern of stars in the night sky when viewed from the Earth. The International Astronomical Union has classified 88 constellations to cover the entire celestial sphere. Many of the old constellations have Greek or Latin names and are often named after mythological characters. Ursa Major, Saptarishi Mandalam, is a large constellation and it covers a large part of the sky. The most striking feature of this constellation is a group of 7 bright stars known as Big Dipper, 7 sages in Indian astronomy. Ursa Minor in Latin means the little bear. It lies in the northern sky. The pole star Polaris, Dhruva, lies within this constellation. The main group, Little Dipper, consists of 7 stars and is quite similar to that found in Ursa Major. Orion was a hunter in Greek mythology. The constellation comprises around 81 stars, out of which all but 10 are too faint to be seen with naked eye. Different constellations become visible in the sky at different times in the year. This happens due to the revolution of the Earth around the Sun. Unlike galaxy, constellations are mere optical appearance and not real objects. In galaxy, stars are bound by gravity and constitute a system. In a constellation, one star may be near and another very, very far, but because they are in the same direction appear to be near to each other in the sky. We books. Name of constellations: Mesham, Aries, Rishabham, Taurus; Midhunam, Gemini, Kadkam, Cancer; Simham, Leo, Kanni, Virgo; Thulam, Libra, Vrishchikam, Scorpio; Dhanusu, Sagittarius, Makram, Capricorn; Kumbham, Aquarius, Meenam, Pisces. Stars. Stars are the fundamental building blocks of galaxies. Stars were formed when the galaxies were formed during the Big Bang. Stars produce heat, light, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and other forms of radiation. They are largely composed of gas and plasma, a superheated state of matter. Stars are built by hydrogen gases. Hydrogen atoms fuse together to form helium atoms, and in the process they produce a large amount of heat. In a dark night we can see nearly 3,000 stars with the naked eye. We don't know how many stars exist. Our universe contains more than 100 billion galaxies, and each of those galaxies may have more than 100 billion stars. Though the stars appear to be alone, most of the stars exist as pairs. The brightness of a star depends on their intensity and the distance from the Earth. Stars also appear to be in different colors depending on their temperature. Hot stars are white or blue, whereas cooler stars are orange or red in color. Some stars have radii 1,000 times larger than that of our own Sun. A group of stars forms an imaginary outline or meaningful pattern on the space. They represent an animal, mythological person or creature, a god, or an object. This group of stars is called constellations. People in different cultures and countries adopted their own sets of constellations outlines. We books. There are 88 formally accepted constellations. Aries, Gemini, Leo, Orion, Scorpius and Cassiopeia are some of the constellations. Geocentric theory. Sky is a wonder. Sun, moon, stars all appear to rise in the east and move towards the west, giving us an impression that all these objects are going around the Earth. Just as in a moving bus the distant mountains and trees appear to move backwards, perhaps really Earth is spinning, and that is why Sun, Moon and stars appear to go around Earth. Does the Earth revolve around the Sun, or the Sun revolves around the Earth? How do you know about it? When you look at the night sky you can see lot of twinkling objects. But a few of them differ from the others. They don't twinkle, and while the other stars hold a fixed pattern from night to night, these drift. They wander across the sky, moving against the backdrop of stars. These are called planets. Our ancestors observed this and they imagined a universe with the Earth at the center, the stars in the distant background, and Sun, Moon and the planets orbiting around us. Two observations supported the idea that Earth was the center of the universe. First, from anywhere on the Earth, the Sun appears to revolve around the Earth once in a day. While the Moon and the planets have their own motions, they also appear to revolve around the Earth about once per day. Even the celestial sphere studded with stars appears to rise and set in the evening and make one complete rotation in a year. Second, the Earth seems to be unmoving from the perspective of an earthbound observer. It feels stationary. As civilization progressed, the early astronomers found two types of motion of celestial objects. Let us take the case of Moon. On a daily basis, Moon appears to rise in the east and set in the west. Thus, one can say that Moon is going around the Earth with a period of one day. But for a careful observer, it was clear that the Moon was also exhibiting another motion. Suppose the Moon is appearing in the sky today near the star Aswini. Tomorrow we will observe that the Moon is near the star Bharni, a star east of Aswini. And the next day it will be near the star Kartike, east of Bharni. After 27 days, moving little by little eastwards, the Moon again stations itself near Aswini. Thus, everyday Moon appears to move from east to west in one day, whereas it appears to go in a circle from west to east in the background of stars in about 27 days. These two motions were puzzling. Very soon astronomers like Aryabhatta said that Earth is spinning in its axis, that is the cause of apparent daily motion from east to west. Whereas the eastward motion of Moon in the celestial sphere with a period of about 27 days was seen as the actual motion of the celestial objects. Thus, the geocentric model, also known as geocentrism, that is a description of the universe with spherical and spinning Earth at the center and the Sun, Moon, stars, and planets all orbits the Earth, emerged in various cultures. In Greece, this model was put forth by the Greek philosopher Plato and his disciple Aristotle in 6th century BC. It was standardized by a Greco-Roman mathematician Ptolemy in the 2nd century AD. A similar model is seen in the Siddhantic astronomy in India, like Aryabhatiyam of Aryabhatta. Heliocentric model. Dissatisfied with the messy epicycle model, Nicolaus Copernicus radically proposed that the model will become simple if we assume Sun is at the center and all planets, including Earth, go around it. Suppose Earth and Mars are on the two sides of the Sun, then Mars would be far and appear dim, compared to when they are on the same side. V2V books. Earth orbit around Sun in 365 days, whereas Mars takes 687 days. This implies at times Earth will overtake Mars. When the Earth is approaching and overtaking Mars, the Mars would appear to exhibit retrograde motion. In short, all the observed phenomena could be explained in a simple way. However, how do we know that actually Sun is at the center or not? Galileo found that his observation of Venus gave the observational evidence to support the heliocentric theory. Galileo observed Venus in 1610 to 1611 with a telescope. To naked eye, Venus is just a gleaming bright spot. However, through a telescope, the shape of the planet can be seen. Galileo was startled to find, like Moon, Venus too exhibited phases. The shape varied from crescent to gibbous. Also, the size of the planet varied. When the planet was in gibbous phase, the size was small, and when it was thin crescent, the size was many folds higher. As the Venus went around the epicycle, as shown in the diagram, Venus would exhibit phases. Also, at times the planet would be nearer, making the apparent size grow bigger, and at times far, making the apparent size smaller. Thus, the variation in the brightness can also be explained. It became clear to Galileo that the geocentric epicycle model will not help in accounting for the observed phases of the Venus. Look at the above diagram. If the Venus was going around the Sun, and its orbit is inside that of Earth, Venus would appear always near the Sun in the sky. It can never be seen in the midnight sky. To when it is near the Earth, it would be brighter and bigger compared to when it is on the other side of the Sunday. Thirdly, only if the Venus is revolving around the Sun, it can exhibit gibbous phase, and the size of the gibbous phase smaller than the crescent phase. If the Venus was revolving around the Earth, we can never see the gibbous phase of the Venus, and it would be seen only if it is orbiting the Sunday. This clinching observational evidence proved that at the least Venus orbited around the Sunday. Further evidences collected by astronomers using telescope and other advanced modern instruments gave enough evidence that all planets revolve around the Sunday. If Galileo were around today, he would surely be amazed at exploration of our solar system and beyond by ISRO, NASA, Russian Space Agency and others. Now we can observe planets orbiting around other stars, called exoplanets, proving that not only planets orbit around the Sun in solar system, but all around the universe such planetary systems exist. Who knows, in some of there could be life and in rare cases intelligent life, like humans wandering and exploring universe. Imagine a future time when such life meet us, how exciting and momentous it would be. The solar system. The Sun and celestial bodies which revolve around it form the solar system. It consists of large number of bodies such as planets, comets, asteroids and meteors. The gravitational force of attraction between the Sun and these objects keep them revolving around it. The Sun. V2V books. The Sun is sometimes referred to by its Latin name Sol or by its Greek name Helios. The ancient Greeks grouped the Sun together with the other celestial bodies which moved across the sky, calling them all planets. But the Sun is a medium-sized star, a very fiery spinning ball of hot gases. 3/4 of the Sun has hydrogen gas and 1/4 has helium gas. It is over 1,000,000 times as big as the Earth. Hydrogen atoms combine or fuse together to form helium under enormous pressure. This process, called nuclear fusion, releases enormous amount of energy as light and heat. It is this energy which makes sun shine and provide heat. The Sun is situated at the center of the solar system. The strong gravitational fields cause other solar matter, mainly planets, asteroids, comets, meteoroids and other debris, to orbit around it. The Sun is believed to be more than 4.6 billion years old. Formation of the Sun. At the time of the Big Bang, hydrogen gas condensed to form huge clouds, which later concentrated and formed the numerous galaxies. Some of the hydrogen gas was left free and started floating around in our galaxy. With time, due to some changes, this free-floating hydrogen gas concentrated and paved way for the formation of the Sun and solar system. Gradually, the Sun and the solar system turned into a slowly spinning molecular cloud, composed of hydrogen and helium molecules, along with dust. The cloud started to undergo the process of compression as a result of its own gravity. Its excessive and high-speed spinning ultimately resulted in its flattening into a giant disk. Rotation. The Sun rotates on its axis. Since the Sun is primarily made of very hot gas, the surface at the equator rotates once every 25.4 days. The rotation near the poles takes around 36 days. Energy output. Most of the energy emitted by the Sun is visible light and a form of radiation known as infrared rays, which we feel as heat. Sun diameter, across equator about 1,392,000 kilometers, 1,392,000 kilometer. Volume, 1.3 million times that of Earth. Distance from the Earth, about 150 million, 15 crore, kilometer. Sun's gravity, 28 times that of the Earth. Surface temperature, from 5500 C to 6000 C. Core temperature, 1.5 million C. Composition, 75% hydrogen plus 25% helium plus 70 elements. The Sun travels around the galaxy once every 200 million years, a journey of 100,000 light-years. The Sun provides our planet with 126 trillion horsepower of energy every day. For 186 days, one cannot see the Sun in the North Pole. The amount of energy reaching the Earth's surface from the Sun is 6,000 times the amount of energy used by all human beings worldwide. The Sun is one among the 6,000 stars which is visible to the naked eye from the Earth. Color. It is a common misconception that Sun emits yellow color radiation, and it is not true. The radiation coming from the Sun contains all the colors. But yellow is the most intense among all the colors. Sunlight is scattered by the molecules when it passes through the Earth's atmosphere. The scattering of light depends on the color. Blue and violet are scattered more and red is scattered less. Planets. A planet revolves around the Sun along a definite curved path which is called an orbit. It is elliptical. The time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is called its period of revolution. The period of revolution increases as the distance of the planet from the Sun increases. Thus, the period of revolution of the Earth is 365.30 days, whereas that of Neptune is 164.80 years. Besides revolving around the Sun, a planet also rotates on its own axis like a top. The time taken by a planet to complete one rotation is called its period of rotation. The period of rotation of the Earth is 23 hours and 56 minutes, and so the length of a day on Earth is taken as 24 hours. A day on the planet Mercury is 59 Earth days, i.e., 59 times 24 equals 1416 hours. Jupiter rotates so fast that a day lasts only less than 10 hours. The planets are spaced unevenly. The first 4 planets are relatively close together and close to the Sun. V2V books. They form the inner solar system. Farther from the Sun is the outer solar system, where the planets are much more spread out. Thus the distance between Saturn and Uranus is much greater, about 20 times, than between the Earth and the Mars. The 4 planets grouped together in the inner solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. They are called inner planets. They have a surface of solid rock crust and so are called terrestrial or rocky planets. Their insides, surfaces and atmospheres are formed in a similar way and form similar pattern. Our planet, Earth, can be taken as a model of the other 3 planets. The 4 large planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune spread out in the outer solar system that slowly orbit the Sun are called outer planets. They are made of hydrogen, helium and other gases in huge amounts and have very dense atmosphere. They are known as gas giants and are called gaseous planets. The 4 outer planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune have rings, whereas the 4 inner planets do not have any rings. The rings are actually tiny pieces of rock covered with ice. Now let us learn about each planet in the solar system. Mercury. Mercury is a rocky planet nearest to the Sun. It is very hot during day but very cold at night. It moves around the Sun faster than any other planet, 1 year being only 87.97 Earth days, and rotates very slowly. 1 day is equal to 58.65 days. Mercury can be easily observed through telescope than naked eye since it is very faint and small. It always appears in the eastern horizon or western horizon of the sky. Venus. Venus is a special planet from the Sun, almost the same size as the Earth. It is the hottest planet in our solar system. After our Moon, it is the brightest heavenly body in our night sky. A day on this planet is longer than its year. A day on this planet is 243 Earth days, and a year is only 224.7 Earth days. This planet spins in the opposite direction to all other planets, and so unlike Earth, the Sun rises in the west and sets in the east here. Venus can be seen clearly through naked eye. It always appears in the horizon of eastern or western sky. The Earth. The Earth where we live is the only planet in the solar system which supports life. Due to its right distance from the Sun, it has the right temperature, the presence of water and suitable atmosphere, and a blanket of ozone. All these have made continuation of life possible on the Earth. It moves around the Sun in 365.25 days, and rotation period is 23.93 hours. The axis of rotation of the Earth is not perpendicular to the plane of its orbit. The tilt is responsible for the change of seasons on the Earth. From space, the Earth appears bluish-green due to the reflection of light from water and land mass on its surface. The Earth rotates on its axis from west to east, so the Sun appears to move in its opposite direction, that is from east to west. Life on Earth, as we know, would not be possible without the Sunday. The solar energy from the Sun has supported and sustained terrestrial existence on Earth since the beginning of time. Mars. The first planet outside the orbit of the Earth is Mars. It appears slightly reddish, and therefore it is also called the red planet. It has two small natural satellites, Deimos and Phobos. A natural satellite of any planet is called Moon. 1 day on this planet is of 24 hours 37 minutes 22 seconds, and 1 year is 686.98 days, i.e., 687 Earth days. Jupiter. Jupiter is called as giant planet. It is the largest of all planets, about 11 times larger and 318 times heavier than Earth. It has 3 rings and 65 moons. Its moon Ganymede is the largest moon of our solar system. Rotating faster than any other planet, Jupiter has the shortest days, 1 day lasting only 9 hours 55 minutes 30 seconds. 1 year in Jupiter equals 11.862 years. Saturn. Known for its bright shiny rings, Saturn appears yellowish in color. It is the second biggest and a giant gas planet in the outer solar system. It rotates very fast, the rotation period being 10.7 hours, but revolves slowly around the Sun, the revolution period being 29.46 Earth years. At least 60 moons are present, the largest being Titan. Titan is the only moon in the solar system with clouds. Having least density of all, 30 times less than Earth, this planet is so light. Uranus. Uranus is a cold gas giant, and it is the 7th planet from the Sun in the solar system. It can be seen only with the help of large telescope. It has a greatly tilted axis of rotation. As a result, In its orbital motion it appears to roll on its side. Its revolution period is 84 Earth years and the rotation period is 17.2 hours. Due to its peculiar tilt, it has the longest summers and winters, each lasting 42 years. Figure 3.11 Planets seen from Earth. Neptune. It appears as greenish star. It is the 8th planet from the Sun and is the windiest planet. Every 248 years, Pluto crosses its orbit. This situation continues for 20 years. It has 13 moons, Triton being the largest. Triton is the only moon in the solar system that moves in the opposite direction to the direction in which its planet spins. Other bodies of the solar system. Besides the 8 planets, there are some other bodies which revolve around the Sun. They are also members of the solar system. Asteroids. There is a large gap in between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. This gap is occupied by a broad belt containing about 500,000 pieces of rocks that were left over when the planets were formed and now revolve around the Sun. These are called asteroids. The biggest asteroid is Ceres, 946 kilometers across. Every 50 million years, the Earth is hit by an asteroid nearing 10 kilometers across. Asteroids can only be seen through large telescope. Comets. Comets are lumps of dust and ice that revolve around the Sun in highly elliptical orbits. Their period of revolution is very long. When approaching the Sun, a comet vaporizes and forms a head and tail. Some of the biggest comets even seen had tails 160 million, 16 crores kilometer long. This is more than the distance between the Earth and the Sun. Many comets are known to appear periodically. One such comet is Halley's Comet, which appears after nearly every 76 years. It was last seen in 1986. It will next be seen in 2062. Cosmic year. The Sun traveling at a speed of 250 km per second, 9 lakh km/h, takes about 225 million years to complete one revolution around the Milky Way. This period is called a cosmic year. Meteors and meteorites. Meteors are small pieces of rocks scattered throughout the solar system. Traveling with high speed, these small pieces come closer to the Earth's atmosphere and are attracted by the gravitational force of Earth. Most of them are burnt up by the heat generated due to friction in the Earth's atmosphere. They are called meteors. Some of the bigger meteors may not be burnt completely and they fall on the surface of Earth. These are called meteorites. Figure 3.14 Meteors and meteorites. Satellites. A body moving in an orbit around a planet is called satellite. In order to distinguish them from the man-made satellites, called as artificial satellites, they are called as natural satellites or moons. Satellite of the Earth is called moon. Other satellites are written as moon. It moves around the Earth once in 27.3 days in an approximate circular orbit of radius 3.85 by 105 kilometers. Natural satellites do not make their own light. We can see the Earth's satellite moon because it reflects the light of the Sun. Satellite moves around the planets due to gravity and the centripetal force. Among the planets in the solar system, all the planets have moons except Mercury and Venus. Natural satellites. All natural objects revolving around a planet are natural satellites. They are also called moons. Most moons are spherical, the ones that are not usually asteroids or meteors that were captured by the strong gravity of a planet. All planets except Mercury and Venus in our solar system have moons. Earth has only one moon, whereas planets like Jupiter and Saturn have more than 60 moons. Artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are man-made objects placed in an orbit to rotate around a planet, usually the Earth. The world's first artificial satellite launched was Sputnik 1 by Russia. Aryabhatta was the first satellite launched by India. These satellites are used in television and radio transmission, studying agriculture yield, locating mineral resources, weather forecasting, locate different places on Earth. How moon exhibit phases. Astronomers in ancient times also observed certain facts. The Purnanuru, 65, of Sangam literature, the poet Kalthliyar singing in appreciation of Cheraman Perunyalathan says, on the day when the full moon appears, the Sunand moon look at each other with their bright light. In the evening time, one spear hides behind the mountains. On the full moon day, when the sun is setting in the west, precisely at the same time, moon rises at the east. That is, both sun and moon are in the opposite side. Likewise, when it is waning half moon, the moon rises when it is midnight, and the waxing half moon rises during noon. From such observations and modeling, ancient astronomers could explain why we have waxing and waning of moon. It is probably easier to understand the waxing and waning of moon in the order of new moon and full moon, and then how the first and third quarter moon, half moon, appear, and then the phases in between. Sun is the source of light. Sunlight falls on the spherical Earth, but only on the side facing Sunday. The opposite side of Earth is without sunlight. As the Earth spins, day and night follows as different parts of Earth appear before the Sunday, that is, at all times one half of Earth is illuminated by sun and one half is in darkness. Likewise, at all times one half of moon is illuminated by sun and the opposite side is shrouded in darkness. As shown in the above diagram, when the moon is positioned between the Earth and sun, notice all the illuminated part of moon is away from Earth. Hence we cannot see any part of the illuminated side of the moon. Only the dark side of moon is towards Earth. When the moon is in this position, we have new moon. Now look at the moon when it is behind the Earth. Now the portion of the moon illuminated by sun is totally towards Earth. The dark side is away from the Earth. This means the moon will appear to be round in the sky. This is full moon. When the sun, Earth and moon are in 90-degree angle, how will the moon appear to a person on the surface of the Earth? Now if you look at the portion of moon facing Earth, we will see half of it illuminated and half is dark side. Thus, the moon will appear as half moon. The half moon during the waxing period is called as first quarter and the half moon during the waning period is called as third quarter. Once we understand those four key moon phases, the phases between them should be fairly easy to visualize. The word crescent refers to the phases where the moon is less than half illuminated. The word gibbous refers to phases where the moon is more than half illuminated. Waxing essentially means growing or expanding in illumination, and waning means shrinking or decreasing in illumination. Note also that these discoveries could be made with naked eye. You do not need telescope or any modern equipment. Epicycles. Moon going around Earth with 27-day period nicely explained its motion. However, astronomers in ancient times faced problem in explaining the motion of the then known 5 planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. Moon in the background of stars moved every day eastwards nicely. However, for example, if we were observing the motion of Mars from January, it would appear to move eastward in the background stars. That is, the position of Mars today will be near a star which is east of the star near which it was yesterday. However, on 28 June, we will see a change. From that date, the Mars would appear to move west rather than its normal eastward motion. This reversal of direction of planets is called as retrograde motion. If we continue to observe, on 28 August once again the Mars would appear to reverse the direction and again on its usual eastward motion in the celestial sphere. Usually Jupiter is brighter than Mars, however, around the period of retrograde motion the Mars was much brighter than other times, even brighter than Jupiter. Other planets also exhibited number of puzzling behaviors. Venus and Mercury always appeared very close to Sun, and hence never appeared in the midnight sky. The brightness of Jupiter also varied again when it exhibited retrograde motion. For example, in 2018, Jupiter reversed its direction of motion on 9th March 2018 and again resumed its normal eastward motion on 11th July 2018. The simple geocentric model, where planets go around the Earth, could not explain why the brightness of the planets changed and why they reversed their directions. Change in brightness and retrograde motion would be impossible if we assumed that the planets were at the same distance at all times from Earth. To explain the puzzling phenomena, astronomers in early times proposed a change in the simple geocentric model. This is called as epicycle model. Ptolemy, 2nd cent, in Greece, Aryabhatta in India and others used the epicycle model to explain the motion of the celestial objects. Their models were improved by generation of astronomers like Tycho Brahe and Neelkanth Somyaji. Although the model explained many phenomena, there were number of mismatches. The model was becoming messy. Orbital velocity. We saw that there are natural satellites moving around the planets. There will be gravitational force between the planet and satellites. Nowadays, many artificial satellites are launched into the Earth's orbit. The first artificial satellite Sputnik was launched in 1956. India launched its first satellite Aryabhatta on 19 April 1975. Artificial satellites are made to revolve in an orbit at a height of few hundred kilometers. At this altitude, the friction due to air is negligible. The satellite is carried by a rocket to the desired height and released horizontally with a high velocity, so that it remains moving in a nearly circular orbit. The horizontal velocity that has to be imparted to a satellite at the determined height so that it makes a circular orbit around the planet is called orbital velocity. The orbital velocity of the satellite depends on its altitude above Earth. V books. Nearer the object to the Earth, the faster is the required orbital velocity. At an altitude of 200 kilometers, the required orbital velocity is little more than 27,400 kilometers per hour. That orbital speed and distance permit the satellite to make one revolution in 24 hours. Since Earth also rotates once in 24 hours, a satellite stays in a fixed position. Figure 3.16 Orbital velocity, centripetal force, instantaneous, Earth's gravity, velocity relative to a point on Earth's surface. Because the satellite stays over the same spot all the time, this kind of orbit is called geostationary. Orbital velocity can be calculated using the following formula. V is equal to gm r plus h, where g is equal to gravitational constant 6.673 times 10 to 11 nm to kg2. M is equal to mass of the Earth 5.97 to by 1024 kilograms. R is equal to radius of the Earth 6,371 kilometers. H is equal to height of the satellite from the surface of the Earth. Kepler's laws. In the early 1600s, Johannes Kepler proposed 3 laws of planetary motion. Kepler was able to summarize the carefully collected data of his mentor, Tycho Brahe, with 3 statements that described the motion of planets in a sun-centered solar system. Kepler's efforts to explain the underlying reasons for such motions are no longer accepted. Nonetheless, the actual laws themselves are still considered an accurate description of the motion of any planet and any satellite. Kepler's 3 laws of planetary motion can be described as below. First law, the law of ellipses. The path of the planets about the Sun is elliptical in shape, with the center of the Sun being located at one of the foci. Second law, the law of equal areas. An imaginary line drawn from the center of the Sun to the center of the planet will sweep out equal areas in equal intervals of time. Third law, the law of harmonies. The ratio of the squares of the periods of any 2 planets is equal to the ratio of the cubes of their semi-major axis from the Sun. Rockets. The universe is a great mystery to all of us. Our minds always try to know about the space around us. Understanding the space will be helpful to us in many ways. Space research provides information to understand the environment of the Earth and the changing climate and weather on Earth. Exploring the space will help us to answer many of the challenges we are facing these days. Discovery of rockets has opened a small portion of the universe to us. Rockets help us to launch space probes to explore the planets in the solar system. They also help us to launch space-based telescopes to explore the universe. More than all, rockets enable us to put satellites, which are useful to us in a number of ways. Our country has effective rocket technology and has applied it successfully to provide so many space services globally. Rockets were invented in China more than 800 years ago. The first rockets were a cardboard tube packed with gunpowder. They were called fire arrows. In 1232 AD, the Chinese used these fire arrows to defeat the invading Mongol army. The knowledge of making rockets soon spread to the Middle East and Europe, where they were used as weapons. Parts of rockets. A rocket is a space vehicle with a very powerful engine designed to carry people or equipment beyond Earth and out into space. There are 4 major parts or systems in a rocket. They are structural system, payload system, guidance system, propulsion system. Structural system, frame. The structural system is the frame that covers the rocket. It is made up of very strong but lightweight materials like titanium or aluminum. Fins are attached to some rockets at the bottom of the frame to provide stability during the flight. Payload system. Payload is the object that the satellite is carrying into the orbit. Payload depends on the rocket's mission. The rockets are modified to launch satellites with a wide range of missions like communications, weather monitoring, spying, planetary exploration, and as observatories. Special rockets are also developed to launch people into the Earth's orbit and onto the surface of the Moon. Guidance system. Guidance system guides the rocket in its path. It may include sensors, onboard computers, radars, and communication equipments. Propulsion system. It takes up most of the space in a rocket. It consists of fuel, propellant, tanks, pumps and a combustion chamber. There are two main types of propulsion systems. They are liquid propulsion system and solid propulsion system. Types of propellants. A propellant is a chemical substance that can undergo combustion to produce pressurized gases whose energy is utilized to move a rocket against the gravitational force of attraction. It is a mixture which contains a fuel that burns and an oxidizer, which supplies the oxygen necessary for the burning, combustion, of the fuel. The propellants may be in the form of a solid or liquid. V2V books. Liquid propellants. In liquid propellants, fuel and oxidizers are combined in a combustion chamber where they burn and come out from the base of the rocket with a great force. Liquid hydrogen, hydrazine and ethyl alcohol are the liquid fuels. Some of the oxidizers are oxygen, ozone, hydrogen peroxide and fuming nitric acid. Liquid hydrogen fuming nitric acid. Solid propellants. In solid rocket propellants, fuel and oxidizer compounds are already combined. When they are ignited, they burn and produce heat energy. Combustion of solid propellants cannot be stopped once it is ignited. Solid fuels used in rockets are polyurethanes and polybutadienes. Nitrate and chlorate salts are used as oxidizers. Polyurethanes, polybutadienes. Cryogenic propellants. In this type of fuel, the fuel or oxidizer or both are liquefied gases and they are stored at a very low temperature. These fuels do not need any ignition system. They react on mixing and start their own flame. Launching of satellite. Before being launched into the space, rockets will be held down by the clamps on the launching pad initially. Manned or unmanned satellites will be placed at the top of the rocket. When the fuel in the rocket is burnt, it will produce an upward thrust. There will be a point at which the upward thrust will be greater than the weight of the satellite. At that point, the clamp will be removed by remote control and the rocket will move upwards. According to Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. As the gas is released downward, the rocket will move upward. To place a satellite in a particular orbit, a satellite must be raised to the desired height and given the correct speed and direction by the launching rocket. If this high velocity is given to the rocket at the surface of the Earth, the rocket will be burnt due to air friction. Moreover, such high velocities cannot be developed by a single rocket. So, multistage rockets are used. To penetrate the dense lower part of the atmosphere, initially the rocket rises vertically and then it is tilted by a guidance system. India's space programs. Within few years after the independence, India initiated space research activities. In 1969, Indian Space Research Organization was formed with the objective of developing space technology and its application for different needs of the nation. India is focusing on satellites for communication and remote sensing, space transportation systems and application programs. The first ever satellite Aryabhata was launched in 1975. Since then, India has achieved a lot in space programs equal to that of the developed nations. Chandrayaan-1 our country launched a satellite Chandrayaan-1, meaning Moon Vehicle, on 22nd October 2008 to study about the Moon. It was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh with the help of PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, rocket. It was put into the lunar orbit on 8 November 2008. The spacecraft was orbiting around the Moon at a height of 100 kilometers from the lunar surface. V2V books. It collected the chemical, the mineralogical and the geological information about the Moon. This mission was a major boost for the Indian space programs and helped to develop its own technology to explore the Moon. Chandrayaan-1 was operated for 312 days and achieved 95% of its objectives. The scientists lost their communication with the spacecraft on 28 August 2009. On the successful completion of all the major objectives, the mission was concluded. Objectives of Chandrayaan-1. The following were the objectives of Chandrayaan-1 mission. To find the possibility of water on the Moon. To find the elements of matter on the Moon. To search for the existence of helium-3. To make a three-dimensional atlas of the Moon. To study about the evolution of the solar system. Kalamsat is the world's smallest satellite weighing only 64 grams. It was built by a team of high school students, led by Rifat Sharouk, an 18-year-old school student from Pallapatti, near Karur, Tamil Nadu. It was launched into the space on 22 June 2017 by NASA. Achievements of Chandrayaan-1. The following are the achievements of Chandrayaan-1 mission. The discovery of presence of water molecules in the lunar soil. Chandrayaan-1 confirmed that the Moon was completely molten once. Chandrayaan-1 has recorded images of the landing site of the US spacecraft Apollo 15 and Apollo 11. It has provided high-resolution spectral data on the mineralogy of the Moon. The existence of aluminium, magnesium and silicon were picked up by the X-ray camera. More than 40,000 images have been transmitted by the Chandrayaan-1 camera in 75 days. The acquired images of peaks and craters show that the Moon mostly consists of craters. Chandrayaan-1 beamed back its first images of the Earth in its entirety. Chandrayaan-1 has discovered large caves on the lunar surface that can act as human shelter on the Moon. Mangalyaan, Mars vehicle. After the successful launch of Chandrayaan-1, ISRO planned an unmanned mission to Mars, Mars Orbiter mission, and launched a space probe, space vehicle, on 5 November 2013 to orbit Mars orbit. This probe was launched by the PSLV rocket from Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Mars Orbiter mission is India's first interplanetary mission. By launching Mangalyaan, ISRO became the fourth space agency to reach Mars. Mangalyaan probe traveled for about a month in Earth's orbit, and then it was moved to the orbit of Mars by a series of projections. It was successfully placed in the Mars orbit on 24 September 2014. Mars Orbiter mission successfully completed a period of 3 years in the Martian orbit and continues to work as expected. ISRO has released the scientific data received from the MOM in the past 2 years, up to September 2016. Objectives of Mangalyaan. The following are the objectives of Chandrayaan-2 mission. To develop the technology required for interplanetary mission. To explore the surface of Mars. To study the constituents of the Martian atmosphere. To provide information about the future possibility of life and past existence of life on the planet. India became the first Asian country to reach Mars and the first nation in the world to achieve this in the first attempt. Soviet Space Program, NASA, European Space Agency are the three other agencies that reached Mars before ISRO. Chandrayaan-2. ISRO has currently launched a follow-on mission to Chandrayaan-1 named as Chandrayaan-2 on 22 July 2019. Chandrayaan-2 mission is highly complex mission compared to previous missions of ISRO. It brought together an orbiter, lander and rover. It aims to explore South Pole of the Moon because the surface area of the South Pole remains in shadow much larger than that of North Pole. Orbiter. It revolves around the Moon and it is capable of communicating with Indian Deep Space Network, IDSN, at Bailu as well as Vikram lander. Lander. It is named as Vikram in the memory of Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai, the father of Indian space program. V2V books. Rover. It is a six-wheeled robotic vehicle named as Pragyan, Sanskrit word that means wisdom. Chandrayaan-2 was successfully inserted into the lunar orbit on 20 August 2019. In the final stage of the mission, just 2.1 kilometers above the lunar surface, lander Vikram lost its communication with the ground station on 7 September 2019. But the orbiter continues its work successfully. The Moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth. It is at a mean distance of about 384,400 kilometers from the Earth. Its diameter is 3,474 kilometers. It has no atmosphere of its own. It doesn't have its own light, but it reflects the sunlight. The time period of rotation of the Moon about its own axis is equal to the time period of revolution around the Earth. That's why we are always seeing its one side alone. NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA is the most popular space agency whose headquarters is located at Washington, USA. It was established on 1 October 1958. It has 10 field centers, which provide a major role in the execution of NASA's work. NASA is supporting International Space Station, which is an international collaborative work on space research. It has landed rovers on Mars, analyzed the atmosphere of Jupiter, explored Saturn and Mercury. The Mercury, V2V Gemini books and Apollo programs helped NASA learn about flying in space. NASA's robotic space probes have visited every planet in the solar system. Satellites launched by NASA have revealed a wealth of data about Earth, resulting in valuable information such as a better understanding of weather patterns. NASA technology has contributed to make many items used in everyday life, from smoke detectors to medical tests. Apollo mission. Apollo missions are the most popular missions of NASA. These missions made American astronauts to land on the Moon. It consists of totally 17 missions. Among them, Apollo-8 and Apollo 11 are more remarkable. Apollo 8 was the first manned mission to go to the Moon. It orbited around the Moon and came back to the Earth. Apollo 11 was the first manned landing mission to the Moon. It landed on the Moon on 20 July 1969. Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the surface of the Moon. The members present in the crew during the manned landing mission were Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. NASA's work with ISRO. NASA made an agreement to work with ISRO to launch the NISAR satellite, NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, and Mars exploration missions. Work of Indians at NASA. People of Indian origin in America are working in NASA and they have made remarkable contribution to NASA. Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana Chawla was born on 17th March 1962 in Karnal, Punjab. In 1988, she joined the NASA. She was selected to take part in the Columbia Shuttle mission in 1997 and she became the first Indian woman astronaut to go to space. On her second mission on the Columbia Shuttle, she lost her life when the shuttle broke down. Kalpana Chawla traveled over 10.4 million miles in 252 orbits of the Earth, logging more than 372 hours in space. Sunita Williams. Sunita Williams was born on 19 September 1965 in the USA. She started her career as an astronaut in August 1998. She made 2 trips to the International Space Station. She set a record of the longest space walking time by a female astronaut in 2012, with a total spacewalk of 50 hours and 40 minutes, 7 spacewalks. She is one of the crew of NASA's Manned Mars mission. International Space Station. ISS is a large spacecraft which can house astronauts. It goes around in low Earth orbit at approximately 400 kilometers distance. It is also a science laboratory. Its very first part was placed in orbit in 1998 and its core construction was completed by 2011. It is the largest man-made object in space which can also be seen from the Earth through the naked eye. The first human crew went to the ISS in 2000. Ever since that, it has never been unoccupied by humans. At any given instant, at least 6 humans will be present in the ISS. According to the current plan, ISS will be operated until 2024, with a possible extension until 2028. After that, it could be deorbited or recycled for future space stations. Purpose of International Space Station. The ISS is intended to act as a scientific laboratory and observatory. Its main purpose is to provide an international lab for conducting experiments in space, as the space environment is nearly impossible to reproduce here on Earth. The microgravity environment present in the ISS provides ideal conditions for doing many scientific researches, especially in biology, human biology, physics, astronomy, and meteorology. Benefits of ISS. According to NASA, the following are some of the ways in which the ISS is already benefiting us or will benefit us in the future. Supporting water purification efforts. Using the technology developed for the ISS, areas having water scarcity can gain access to advanced water filtration and purification systems. This could very well be a life-saving difference for the people in such hazardous locations. The Water Recovery System, WRS, and the Oxygen Generation System, OGS, developed for the ISS have already saved a village in Iraq from being deserted due to lack of clean water. Eye tracking technology. The eye tracking device, built for a microgravity experiment, has proved ideal to be used in many laser surgeries. This device tracks the eye's position very accurately without interfering with the surgeon's work. Also, eye tracking technology is helping disabled people with limited movement and speech. For example, a kid who has severe disability in body movements can use his eye movements alone and do routine tasks and lead an independent life. Robotic arms and surgeries. Robotic arms developed for research in the ISS are providing significant help to the surgeons in removing inoperable tumors, example brain tumors, and taking biopsies with great accuracies. The same technology designed for huge robotic arms that help astronauts in space is being brought back to Earth to do some heavy lifting in cancer treatment in the form of a surgical robot. Its inventors say that the robot could take biopsies with remarkable precision and consistency. Apart from the above-mentioned applications, there are many other ways in which the researches that takes place in the ISS are helpful. They are development of improved vaccines, breast cancer detection and treatment, ultrasound machines for remote regions, etc. ISS and international cooperation. As great as the ISS scientific achievements are, no less an accomplishment is the international cooperation which resulted in the construction of the ISS. An international collaboration of 5 different space agencies of 16 countries provides, maintains and operates the ISS. They are NASA, USA, Roscosmos, Russia, ESA, Europe, JAXA, Japan, and CSA, Canada. Belgium, Brazil, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Holland, Norway, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland and the UK are also part of the consortium. In fact, in the late 1950s, as the idea of international space missions was unthinkable. The first part of the ISS was launched by the Russian Zarya module, which was funded by America. The first crew sailed on board was a Russian Soyuz spaceship. Even as the ISS has sections split into US orbital segment, Russian orbital segment, etc., on the whole it is jointly owned by all the participating agencies and their nations. Cooperative international agreements between the world powers have made the largest international scientific undertaking a possibility. The many significant researches and functions of the ISS could only have been possible with the full cooperation of these nations. ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, is the space agency of the Government of India headquartered in the city of Bangalore. Its vision is to harness space technology for national development while pursuing space science research and planetary exploration. Formed in 1969, ISRO superseded the erstwhile Indian National Committee for Space Research, INCOSPAR, established in 1962 by the scientist Vikram Sarabhai. The establishment of ISRO thus institutionalized space activities in India. It is managed by the Department of Space, which reports to the Prime Minister of India. ISRO built India's first satellite, Aryabhatta, which was launched by the Soviet Union on 19 April 1975. It was named after the Indian astronomer Aryabhatta. In 1980, Rohini became the first satellite to be placed in orbit by an Indian-made launch vehicle, SLV-3. ISRO subsequently developed 2 other rockets, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV, for launching satellites into polar orbits and the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle, GSLV, for placing satellites into geostationary orbits. These rockets have launched numerous communication satellites and Earth observation satellites. Satellite navigation systems like Gagan and IRNS have been deployed. In January 2014, ISRO used an indigenous cryogenic engine in a GSLV-D5 launch of the GS8-14. ISRO sent a lunar orbiter, Chandrayaan-1, on 22 October 2008 and a Mars orbiter, Mars Orbiter mission, on 5 November 2013. To buy V2V books, call or WhatsApp on 94425224322 to get more details and samples.